We're about to tour one of the newest, most open concept two-story homes built by Perry. I'm also going to explain what that large construction vehicle is doing next to this home. Stick with me for a great home tour. Now, this is the 3399 plan built by Perry Homes. And I'm in a community called Parkside on the River that has incredible topography. I've had many clients close recently in this community. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about my experience working with different builders in this community, my clients' experiences, both building in this community and then living in the community. And I'm gonna give pros and cons throughout this video. I'm gonna compare this neighborhood with another community that people buy in that has great topography, and then also go through the details of this floor plan. Now, my client built this floor plan from scratch in another community in the heart of Leander, Texas. And I'm going to talk about the differences between Leander and where we're located right now called Georgetown, Texas, two fast-growing suburbs in the north and northwest corridor of the Austin Metro. But I really want to hone in on this plan. The name of the plan, 3399, is also the approximate square footage. It has 4 bedrooms and enough of a backyard here to show you what it's like to live here in Texas. And so I'm going to get back there. I'm going to go through some more details in this home. And like usual, we're going to start right here in the kitchen. Now, what my clients loved about building with Perry were really the upgrades that they chose in the kitchen. And it's not just the upgrades like the countertops and the cabinets, it's also the light fixtures. Usually most of my clients with different builders put light fixtures in after they close on the home. And they do that because they're just not satisfied with the options that a lot of production builders put into their homes. But with Perry, a lot of my clients build with Perry knowing that they can pick a lot of those upgrades at the design studio. So I had clients close here in Parks on the River, as well as a community north of here called Santa Rita Ranch, which I'll feature a little bit later, where we'll show some homes that are for sale in that community. And all of those clients had one thing in common. A lot of the upgrades were chosen with the builder, and that includes these light fixtures that you see here, both above the kitchen island, as well as our client selected a light fixture in the dining room, which is not there. We're gonna get to that a little bit later. And then they love doing two-tone kitchen cabinets. They do countertops that have a lot of fun movement in it, kind of similar to what you see here. And most importantly, floor plans that open up. So you're gonna see that in the living room here in a second. Now, for a lot of my clients that are building in these areas that have a lot of topography, they want a lot of windows off the back of the home. And those windows are exactly what you see here. So that's not the dining room, but for a lot of my clients that use this as kind of like a breakfast nook area, they want a lot of light to come in. So this is where they enjoy their cup of coffee. This is where they enjoy company that's over that just wants to hang around in the kitchen or around the kitchen in that main living area. And this breakfast nook area, I think, resembles what a lot of people want in their home, which is a lot of natural light and feeling like they're in a wide open space. And that's exactly how you feel in this breakfast nook area that is fitting a 6-seater table in here. You let me know what you think about this. Would you put a 6-seater table here, or would you rather have this only in your dining room? Now, we're gonna get outside after we see this living room, but this is the second part that I think so many people like here in the 3399 plan, and that's being open to the second story in the main living area. And it really even starts before that when you just cross the dining room, which we're gonna get to a little bit later. Now, this is a huge couch that you see here. I like how they kept some chairs so that space from the front door through the sliding glass doors is still wide open. This is a very large couch to fit in here. And so you get that open to the second story look right there. You get an ad playing on the TV, don't mind that, but off your right shoulder, you also get these wide open sliding glass doors. Now, there are some structural upgrades that we can talk about a little bit later on in the video, but I really just want to focus in on the plan itself, because what I always tell people is you can change the design any way you want. Like my clients wanted darker kitchen cabinets on the island compared to the exterior cabinets. You can do all those things to design when you build from scratch, but what you really want to select, I think, in the beginning is figure out the flow in the plan that you really want. And that's extremely important because
course, you can't change the flow after you close on it. You also can't change this. This is the outdoor area. Absolutely. So many of my clients tell me they love and they really value, especially the ones that are moving here from out of state, that are not really from Texas, are just exploring the idea of living in Texas. They all want the outdoor life. And that's what you have here. And also, I know you see some dirt here in the back. You also see some dirt on the side. My name is Raj Sahu, by the way. I've represented clients with 21 different builders. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, when I see dirt, I get excited because that means something new is coming up in these new build communities that's going to be amazing. And that's exactly what's going to happen back here. So my clients bought in those houses that you see over there on that street. I had a few clients close there in the last 6 months, and they all loved the topography on that street. What they wanted was a place that they could walk around and just hang out, like a trail or something to walk around with their kids or walk around after a long day at work. Well, that's exactly what they're putting over there. So that dirt spot that you see there, or if you saw some construction vehicles at the beginning of this video that's working on a trail, they're digging out that part to put in this beautiful trail that's going to be connected throughout the community of Parkside and the river. And that's exactly where we are on this plan, the 3399 plan, one of the newest model homes built by Perry. As you'll see here, there is some topography. There are no homes built along this strip, and that's because you have a drop-off on that side, and so some of these homes have amazing views. Now, if you want a good look of an amazing view, here's my client that just finished their home here in Parkside and the river.
Now, if you like views, then take a look at my client's home that closed in Parkside and the river. That was their breakfast nook that you saw there that has an amazing view. They also have an incredible view from their living room with those sliding glass doors on the left side, and then their bedroom, which is in the back left of the home. Unbelievable. Now, what's amazing about this is we put our drone up in the air on this piece of land probably sometime in late 2023. That's when my clients were thinking about getting this lot because they really wanted a view. They were actually moving from Seattle. They also wanted a back patio with tall ceilings, and obviously this floor plan was perfect for them. But it's really the view is what they always kept coming back to. Every time we looked at houses, they'd always say, well, this home backs up to neighbors. This one just kind of have trees right in front of it. We want to see a view off the back, and to have this off their backyard patio, they can also see it from their living room, primary bedroom. There's so many rooms that capture the beauty in this. This is what it's all about. And I have multiple clients building from scratch right now that have two of them actually have a second floor balcony. They also look at rolling hills off their backyard. I have another client that just closed over 5,000 square feet. They have an incredible view that looks out for miles. And so there are amazing opportunities here in the Austin metro that if you want to capture views, you want to capture the beauty that's here in Central Texas, then stick with me. I got so many home tours that are coming up on my channel. Some that my clients closed on, but some that are for sale at the time I'm recording these videos. And if you want to build from scratch, you want to look at lots, then definitely reach out to me. I'm always happy to go through that with you. Back to the video.
Now, getting back into the plan, we have 2 bedrooms downstairs and a study. We're going to get to the primary bedroom next, and then I'll work to the front of the home after we finish the primary bedroom and bathroom. And what you see upstairs, we have a game room, we have a media room. But first, this primary bedroom is what a lot of my clients tell me they love about Perry, are the windows off the back of the home. And I think this makes a big difference. These window sizes are fairly large to begin with, and then Perry puts transom windows on top of these windows. And just so you have an idea of kind of what that does to the space, like this is what you're looking at when you wake up. Obviously, depending on the lot, but that's a good example of some great landscaping that you can do. They just planted those trees recently, I would say in the last like 3 to 5 months. And so those trees will grow, right? And it's just a matter of finding the right landscaping. And that's what a lot of my clients, I think, struggle with when they first call me is they're excited about moving to Austin, but they're looking around. There's so many different options that are here. And for a lot of people that are like that, I just tell them first, let's start off with some of your criteria of what you really value in your home. then let's focus on location. And it's okay if you don't have things narrowed down. We'll just try to go through some questions of what you really value.
And I think calling early before you travel to Austin is so important. I can't tell you how many times people call me through YouTube and they say, hey, we just traveled into Austin. We went around, looked at builders, and there were so many options. It was overwhelming, and we didn't really know where to start. We kind of looked around. We went to this neighborhood, then we Googled the model, and that's how we came across your channel. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think what would have been more useful is being a little bit prepared before that first trip into Austin. Because what ends up happening is I end up working together with a homeowner, a potential homeowner moving to Austin. And when we start working together, we plan for their next trip. Their next trip might not be for another 1 to 3 months after they've already been there. And what I think is a little bit more useful is just having that prep done. Even if you don't know exactly what you want here in Austin, just having a little bit of preparation will help you in navigating through options. It might just be going through different parts of the Austin Metro and just understanding how those different parts of the Austin Metro feel when you're here. Now, this is one of those things that's also something that I think people get a feel for is the functionality of their home. Do you want a laundry here with a door from the primary closet? That way you don't have to take your laundry throughout your home, especially your dirty laundry. And then you have a little bit of a nook here with an outlet, perfect for a little bit of storage area from there. Now, there's so much that we're going to get through. I'm going to show you some lots that are here in Parkside on the river. I'm also going to talk about Parkside on the River versus another community that I get a lot of clients that contract in that absolutely love the topography that's here in the Austin Metro. But I want to keep going here in the dining room. For my clients that built this $33.99 plan, what they absolutely loved were the pictures that we saw online on Perry Homes of this dining room with an accent wall. Now, what my clients told me is they don't want necessarily like a formal dining area that's separate from the rest of the home, but they do want an area that stands out, that feels a little bit unique. So what's the combination? I remember this couple was telling me that they almost chuckled when they said it because they didn't know if that really made sense, but it did. Here's how it makes sense. This room does feel like its own unique space, but it's still open to the main living area. And I'm going to go back to light fixtures again. This is one of the light fixtures. They used something fairly similar to this one, and it just felt grand. It felt like this space stood out, but I think it's really the design that makes it unique. Sometimes it's as simple as an accent wall that just makes the space unique. Sometimes it's an accent wall with sconces that makes it feel unique. Sometimes it's a combination of a wine rack, a little bit of a furniture, sconces, and an accent wall, and then it makes it really stand out. And for one of my clients who built from scratch in this community, they did a lot of pre-wiring for sconces in their home, and then we did a lot of that after closing. They did a lot of wainscoting. They did accent walls. They did so much, and they did that in their dining room. They also did that in their study. Now, what I love about this study and what a lot of people tell me is they want their study to feel calm. They work very hard here. And so having like a fun accent wall as a background on their Zoom is important. I feel like people don't want to admit that because it's like, does my Zoom background actually matter that much? But I think if you're in Zoom all day, it should matter, right? It's fun kind of having this study feel open to the rest of the home, but then have all these fun designs in it. And by the way, I shot half of this video on 1 month, and then I actually had to come back a couple weeks later because I had something I had to get to midway through this video. But now that area outside of this model home is fairly finished. And by the way, if you're confused of what's going on here, we got a mud bench there because this would be garage access. And then this opening would not be an opening. This would be your garage through that area. But they just have that currently as the builder agent's offices. And that's fairly typical in these model homes. And also, this is also fairly typical, these amazing designs, like this very cool accent tile behind the commode in the powder bath. And then we also have a second bedroom downstairs that we're going to get to. Now, while we're here, what I want to talk about are the differences between the two communities
that I think a lot of my clients look at, especially when they're moving from the West Coast, like Seattle, Bay Area. They want to move to Austin. They love Austin because it's got better livability, but it's also beautiful. They want topography, they want greenery, and I think this secondary bedroom down on this model home is a perfect example of the beauty that's here. Now, I end up usually recommending we should look at Parkside on the River, but Parkside on the River doesn't have as much marketing as another community that has incredible topography called Treviso. Now, Treviso's been built out for around 12 years, so it's just a little bit more established. It's got a lot more marketing. They end up having, custom homes there. They've built on 80-foot wide lots. They built on 100-foot wide lots. So on that size of lots, people are building 4,000, 5,000 square foot homes. We actually just had a client close at 5,500 square feet in Treviso. And then we had another client close a few weeks ago at 4,600 square feet. Now, one of them has an incredible view off their backyard. They have a second floor balcony, and it really shows the beauty that's there in that community of Treviso. Now, if I was pointing out differences, here's what I would say. In Treviso, generally speaking, prices are higher, okay? And while we're in the second bedroom downstairs, by the way, it has an in-suite full bathroom. This is great for if you have somebody elderly staying with you on the first floor. I think I say that in every video, and I say it because it's so important. If you're looking at homes in the West Coast, I often get people that tell me, hey, they live in Seattle and their parents can't visit 9 months out of the year because it's cloudy. Their parents love walking around their neighborhood, and their parents just visit them occasionally in the summer, where Seattle's beautiful and it's like 70 degrees, right? But if you want your parents staying with you in an open concept home, you want somebody elderly staying with you on the first floor, you don't want them going up and down the steps. I think that is really well situated where you get great privacy. You got the primary bedroom over there, and then you get that secondary bedroom over there. It still feels very private from each other. But getting back to Parkside on the River versus Treviso, I would say generally speaking, at the time I'm recording this video, the prices are relatively higher in Treviso just because it's been built out longer. So as they get built out longer, their prices have gone up over time. The advantage there is you do get a little bit more of an established neighborhood. And that's what I said probably over the last year and a half, 2 years, that I've had dozens and dozens of clients interested in both of those communities. But here's the thing. Parkside on the River is starting to feel more established because these different pockets of the neighborhood have homes in them. They have homeowners. You have kids going to school, taking the bus, all those things that make it feel like a neighborhood. But also what makes it feel like an amazing neighborhood are the amenities. Now you have the amenities in Parkside on the River. You have a pool, you got pickleball courts, you got so many great things that are coming into Parkside on the River. You got a trail that you can walk around on, really captures the beauty that's here in Georgetown, Texas. And I'm finding a lot of my clients starting to tell me, wow, they love Parkside on the River because of the amenities that are here, and it's starting to feel more like a neighborhood. Now, just to give you some ideas here, Parkside on the River is, I don't know the exact percentage at the time I'm recording this video that it's completed, but it's towards the beginning stages. Like I would say approximately 20 to 40% of the way into the community as just a rough ballpark. And that's me speculating. But Treviso is like 80% of the way in. So that's what I mean by a little bit more established. And so the Treviso has its second amenity center about to be completed. And I think I'm comparing both of these neighborhoods because they have a lot of forever homes. They both have multiple amenity centers. They both have schools that are being planned on site, or depending on the section that you're here in Parkside on the River, you have the schools very close by. And they start to feel like these forever home communities that you can buy your home in and stay long term. And that's why I'm comparing both of them together. So there's so many other details I can give you. I think what really matters is what square footage are you looking at? What do you really value in your home? How long do you plan to live in the home? These are all factors that go into the recommendations that I make. But either way, if you like topography, you like beauty, I think getting this on your radar definitely makes sense. Like, take a look at that. This is off the side of this home, which is amazing. And by the way, that street there that you see homes on, I have a client that I showed earlier that has an amazing view out their backyard. They're actually close by on that street, so they have a similar view to those homes that I just showed you. Hey, real quick, this is one of the lots that's currently available at the time I'm recording this video here in Parkside on the River with Perry Homes. Now, I want to be very clear, that property that's beyond that fence line is owned privately. So we don't know exactly what could be going there, but I have talked to the workers that cleared out that area recently. I've talked to a lot of people in this area, and I could speculate, not on a public facing video, but these are the types of things that I'm talking to my clients on, really digging in for great opportunities. So if you like views, you like great homes, then keep watching. Back to the video. Now, we saw a game room upstairs. We have a media room upstairs. We got a couple bedrooms. We got this Jack and Jill full bath. And this is why this home feels like a forever home, right? It's $33.99 for approximate square footage. And then it has these things that I think people need, right? A study downstairs, 2 bedrooms downstairs, 2 bedrooms upstairs. This is always fun. The Jack and Jill, sometimes people tell me that bothers them is all these doors, and it kind of feels like a little bit like a maze, but there is functionality that you also get in these Jack and Jill full bathrooms, like a quick bathroom that's close by that people can access from the main area, that game room, media room. Now, before I cover the last bedroom here, I want to show you every time you exit one of these bedrooms or the game room, media room, everything feels open. And it's because of tall ceilings, windows everywhere. It's something I often repeat when traveling or when going through a Perry home. It just feels wide open. Okay, another thing I want to talk about are the pros and cons of Parks on the River. There are many that I could cover here. My clients' experiences living in the community is one of the things they talked about that they loved was definitely the topography. They could just walk around and capture the beauty anywhere here. And I've had clients close with amazing views in this neighborhood. I've also had clients close backing up the neighbors. But then do you see that car that was there? They just walk up and down those roads, and that road just goes up and down the hill. What you're seeing in the distance is also the amenity center that just got completed, and you can just get a lot of beauty going through the community, and they love that. I've had clients move from Seattle, Bay Area now. Some work at Amazon, some work at Apple, some work at just a tech company that they work from home, and they love just getting outside, the touring around the community and capturing the beauty. One of the tough parts I would say is at the entrance of Parks on the River, you end up having a road that's called 2243, and people travel like 50, 60 miles per hour. So one of the complaints that I got from people is taking a left turn onto that road is like the most dangerous thing they do on a weekly basis. And what's great is Parks on the River recently put a stoplight out there. So once that stoplight went in, a lot of my clients said that was really well needed. They have talked about traffic building up. I can definitely give you an idea of what traffic looks like in these different communities. And so if you're worried about those things, these communities are changing over time, especially as these new builds bring in a lot more people. Some communities are really keeping up with traffic, some are not. And so if you want a good perspective on what that looks like, you want to know the pros and cons of these neighborhoods, definitely reach out to me. My number's at the bottom of the description of this video. So you can text me there or just shoot me a call and just introduce yourself. Let me know how you found me, and then we can start talking about what the best options look like for your home. Now, if you are looking at what great lots you can build on in Parkside on the River, then go ahead and click at the top of the description of this video. Every week I'm touring lots and posting it on a newsletter that I send an email to everybody on that email newsletter. So go ahead and click at the top of the description of this video if you want to get that there. And then if you want to see one of my clients' homes that built right around 5,000 square feet with Perry Homes, go ahead and click right here. And as always, I hope this helps. Take care, everyone.